And then the panel has been just waiting for you. I understand they got all kinds of horrible questions for you. If you've been
told we've been too nice, so we're
Great, more just.
Leave it for my opponent, she can take the top ones.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
So
my
if you're
name's,
not crying when you leave, we're gonna.
so we didn't do it right, okay. So my name's Amy Groves. I'm running in Assembly District 14, was where we ended up in the redistricting. I'm married to a retired soldier, Army, 24 years in. He's kind of a cranky guy, and we're used to being on the other side of this room, riding with the Marine Riders and whatnot, so we're familiar with it here. And we're small business owners. We manage homeowners associations, do real estate, foster parents. So we've really come to learn in the last few years, as our business grows, how the state's not business friendly, why we're not able to create jobs, why the education system is so lacking. I had a really great introduction into that in the last few years. And this year, I just decided I had to run. No one in my district wanted to run. No real Republican has run in decades over there. And I thought, this is my year. I'm going to give it a good fight. So, here you go, Maggie. Thanks for coming today.
when the beep goes off, that's a 10-second warning.
Oh, okay.
And when you use the mic, hold closer up.
Just real quick, to start, are you gonna, are you gonna?
Oh, I'm sorry. We'll try this side. Go ahead. All right, this is one that was submitted by one of the candidates, and I like it. Should current legislatures and all candidates have their personal financial house in order?
I believe they should. I get so offended when I hear about legislators that have filed bankruptcy, that are giving their homes back to the bank, that if you can't manage your own personal finances, how should you be able to manage an entire state where we're talking a lot of money, real dollars? I mean, it doesn't matter what you make, you can handle your personal finances and do a good job of it. I think everybody should have to be personally just sound.
Okay, Amy, first off, thanks for coming in. I know this can be kind of nerve-wracking, but thank you. Now, running is easy. Running for office is easy as far as promises go, because you can basically promise us anything, okay? But legislating is a lot different, and many people define it as the art of compromise. So what I would like you to tell us today is, if you proposed a bill that you were really passionate about and you wanted to drive it through and get it turned into law, get it signed by the governor, what would you be willing to compromise in order to get that bill through?
Well, I wouldn't be willing to personalize, my own ethics and my own integrity. But if it's something that I really believed in and I really felt was important, I'd have to talk with each person who was opposed to it and find out why don't they like it and see how to overcome that objection.
Would you be willing to, let me be more specific because I know that was kind of big, would you be willing to go along with earmarks? Maybe another legislature wanted to attach an earmark to your bill to come along with you to get it, to vote for it essentially. Would you be willing to do that?
No, I'm very much opposed to that and I would hold my ground on it.
Okay, thank you.
Just real quick, are you willing to sign the pledge today?
I think this is very nice. We tend to go Vietnam in our family, but I think this is great that they're doing it for current. I have no problem signing it.
Okay, and then my question is this. You familiar with the Stanley Gibbs situation, the shooting there?
Yes.
And the fact that the VA failed to take care of his meds, and that's what led to his situation. And that's a real example of what's going on in our state, where the VA is dropping the ball across the board, and the costs are being incurred by the county, by the state, the hospitals, prisons, and this and that. How do you feel about holding the federal government responsible for failing to take care of the veterans who are coming back with PTSD and other issues? And how would you go about doing that as a state legislature?
Be a hard one because many don't believe PTSD is even an issue, and we can go back into the Vietnam era, which is where my husband come from. They all still have it, and for these guys coming back today, even if they never saw, never fired a gun, they're still coming back traumatized from having to live in this situation where at any moment they could be hurt. I don't know how to get the government to address it, but they need to understand it's a road condition, and these guys that come back, they need to have more than an exit interview and say, great, you made it back whole, have a good life. They need to do so much more for them in a mental evaluation and helping, because these guys, I think they're in denial, they even have a problem because they're macho men, but something needs to help them, I don't know how to do it though.
What would you do as a state legislature to address that issue?
There would have to be a bill, but more importantly, some funding that goes along with it, some mandatory funding and issues for that. Thank you. 10 seconds.
You actually didn't ask a question this time.
Parents in our community believe that teachers need to teach. However, in other countries, parents tend to believe that their children need to learn. What would you do in your community to combine those two mindsets?
Well, out in my district, I think there's a lot of apathy from the parents. Number one, we need to get these parents involved because they're allowing their children to not learn. They're letting them come up with the excuses, oh, I didn't have homework, or we learned in the high schools they don't even have books to come home with them, at least at El Dorado High. So the parents need to be held accountable so that when the teachers go into their classroom every day, they have kids that are already read the lessons that are prepared. And I don't see that happening a lot in the classrooms that I was involved with. So there has to be the parents coming to the table and even, a rally, if you will, amongst the parents to get more of them involved.
Well, might as well stay in that same line. Previous panel, one of the teachers on the panel, we were talking about the fact that in areas where most of the parents are working, there seems to be more parental involvement than in areas where most parents aren't working because they're on government assistance. So from a legislative standpoint, what do you think the state can do to maybe turn that around?
I'm not sure the state can make a parent be involved in their kid's education, but even if it comes down to creating, the PTAs or whatever you want to call it, in the evenings or on a Saturday, doesn't always have to be Wednesday at 9 o'clock in the morning. This town's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week town. We've got to come up with alternatives that let the parents still be involved. Best I can come up with.
One of my academic bosses had invented a midnight class on a prior campus to deal with it. But anyway, Clark County, well, every county within Nevada is mandated to have a school district. Would it be a good idea for larger counties like Clark specifically to be split into 1, 3, 5, 50? Is that worth doing? Will that be beneficial?
I'm more in the school of thought that we need some competition. I think if we get more districts within all the different counties, we're going to end up with more money spent on the middle layer of management, if you will. We really need to get the education right to the kids. And I'm for competition, whether it be vouchers or private schools.
Is that it? The panel is complete?
Yep. I need to
Hey,
start crying.
what, did you get treated fairly?
Yes.
Because she's been treated fairly. I want to thank you for your time, because I know you could have been out walking.
I did.
Okay, thank you very, very much.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.